Welcome to Wednesday. It is breaking news on the Bob and Tam Show. Stay tuned. We got a bunch going on. There's a lawsuit going on with Buc-ee's. We got some information about some racing going on in Sturgis during the Sturgis rally. And we got some more information, so stay tuned and we'll get to it in a minute. You know, we got some information we want to talk about a little bit today. We're going to start off with the city of Sturgis. The rally's coming up here. We're less than 60 days out. It's about 58 days right now. I think it is 58 or 59. So we're getting really close to Sturgis happening. A lot of people wondering what's going on. You know, last year on that last Sunday, we had a flat track racing going on downtown.
Right downtown on Main Street.
And they had signed a 4 or 5 year agreement with the city to continue that. And there's been some gossip this year talking about that. A lot of you may know, if you've been coming to the rally for a long time, they have a flat track racetrack out there by the high school. That it's a half-mile track. It's in a little rough condition. But Flat Track was very interested in getting involved with that instead of having the race downtown. So a lot of stuff went back and forth. The city and the Flat Track's been talking all year long. And last night it came down to a vote. What the city voted on is to cancel their contract with Flat Track Racing. So that's not going to be happening right now with the city. There could be some legal battles going on because, once again, when you heard a little bit earlier, they talked about there was a contract to continue this. So we'll have to wait and see, give you more information as things got on. We got to call out to Flat Track. We haven't heard back from them. The city council meeting I watched last night, so I kind of got the information there where they pretty much turned it all down. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on that we don't know behind the scenes. Some of the other things that we want to talk about in the council meeting last night is the thing that I've been talking about here for quite a while is pre-rally is getting to be almost as busy as the actual rally is going. And people need to pay attention to that. Well, some of the business owners down there, especially Loud American
One-Eyed Jacks.
Yep, right across the street from them, they're actually saying, hey, we want that first week pre-rally to close off the street, at least in front of their businesses, for bikes only.
So I think that's between 3rd and 4th Street.
And what's happening with Main Street on that pre-rally day, you guys may see it, we see it when we're there, that the vendors, a lot of them are setting up, they've got their employees there, they're taking up all the spots on Main Street, and they're leaving their car out there all day long.
And they're parked long ways because they've got their truck and their trailer to bring all their goods in for their vending, and it takes up a lot of room.
And the problem is, just like I said, if I was riding down Main Street and I looked down there and I've seen, hey, there's no place to park my bike, I'm not walking blocks, it's pre-rally, I'll just go on out to the full Throttle Saloon and go check out what's going on out there, or go over here to
the Buffalo Chip, or over to Iron Horse, or the Knuckle.
You know, there's
Skip
a lot
downtown.
Yeah. And so they're losing out on that, and a lot of the businesses are stepping up and saying, hey, we want to do something about this. Well, we got the chief in. The chief talked a little bit last night about it, that there has been some issues. The other issue that we have is there's alleys that are behind the businesses that they're supposed to be using. Same thing's happening there. They're parking their trucks and their pickup trucks, and they're just leaving them in the alley, which is causing controversy with people in the city and people that are trying to get around. So something needs to be done. We're going to sit down with the city. We're going to try to meet with the city that first week while we're there, because they're going to have a meeting on May 16th that they're going, I think I got the right date, that they're going to revisit this situation and see what they can do about it. The problem we have a whole new city council, we have a new administrator, we have a lot of new people that are sitting on that board.
New mayor.
That really we actually just finally we got a hold of the administrator, which is
Aaron Jordan.
And he's all aboard to catch up with us, talk to us. But his first question was, who the heck are you people? So apparently he doesn't watch any YouTube, and he doesn't watch anything that's going on in Sturgis and realize that we've been really involved with this. Well, the really funny thing about this is, which I've actually heard from a few more people that are actually up on the board up there, that actually he talked about it last night, this business administrator, talked about that his wife really doesn't like the motorcycle rally. She wants to go back to 7 days, if not at all. So, that's a real issue is,
You've got the people that are fighting against it that live there.
And you've got the businesses, and a lot of people want the motorcycle rally because they realize how much money it brings in for Sturgis. If the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally just locked their doors and the businesses never showed up and nobody really opened up, yeah, people would still come to the back hills. They just wouldn't be spending any money downtown anymore. And that could all end up eventually someday happening. But at this near future, everything is still on board and it's still going. But they need to wake up because, like I say, I don't know how much longer motorcycle rallies will last. Last 2 years, our attendance is down everywhere. The rallies are nothing compared to what they were even 10 years ago. We're seeing that every day when we're out here at these rallies. And so far, people are still kind of spending money, but not a lot of money, and we're not getting big crowds in anymore like we used to have at all these motorcycle rallies. And like I say, I'm only talking 10 years. I'm not talking going back 20 or 30 years.
Even since we've been doing it just the last 5 years. I mean, we didn't see it when things were really big in its heyday, like the 75th. This is going to be the 85th. Probably not going to have near the crowds you did in the 75th one, because us baby boomers are all dying off. There's not as many of us. We can't get out anymore. We can't get to the rallies anymore. And the younger generation just don't want to, they want to come to the concerts. They want to see what's going on, but they're not riding the bikes. And that's going to take away from the vendors that are coming out, which help promote and are responsible for part of the rally.
So we're going to sit down and talk to a lot of them and see if we can explain to them about the motorcycle industry and what's going on. And they need to cherish this because there isn't. They know it too. There is nothing like the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally anywhere in the world. And I'm not talking just downtown Sturgis. I'm talking Black Hills. I'm talking Deadwood. I'm talking Montana. I'm talking all around that area. Everybody's on board. And you always have a few crybabies out there that don't like this, don't like that. But I mean, there was just a lot of crazy stuff which we're not going to talk about. If you can go back and you can go on their YouTube channel, Facebook page for the city of Sturgis, and you can watch the whole darn thing. It lasted about 4 hours. So they drag it on pretty long. So we're hopefully going to try to meet up with everybody there and talk to them and see what's going on and kind of try to explain to them what they need to do to make this bigger and better and keep growing the rally. That's one thing. So the flat track racing is gone. There's a rumor going around that Jack Pine Gypsies is going to take it over. That rumor is false. Why? Because we got a hold of Jack Pine Gypsies today and talked to them. And I went back and I read through some of the minutes and stuff of some of the meetings. And actually, Jack Pine Gypsies were talking to the flat track racing, and they were looking to maybe go in cahoots together and run this flat track racing out there at the half-mile track that they've already got. The city already owns this property. Sitting there doing nothing. They have a 4-H group out there right before the rally is. They have a little fair out there for the weekend. Other than that, I don't think they use this field at all anymore. Just sits paying taxes on it to the county and the state and ain't getting nothing out of it. So we got a hold of Jack Pine Gypsies today, and I said, what do you have involved with the flat track? And they basically told me nothing. It's dead in the water. Now, something could happen between now and then, but, we're getting down to less than 60 days.
We're going to have to do a lot of scrambling to make anything work to have a racetrack.
I don't think this is going to happen because basically with the flat track racing, they had an agreement with the city. If they don't do it this year, they probably got a lot better lawsuit that they can go against the city for it. If they go in there and try to start it back up for this year, they could end up saying, well, look, you already have that intention in mind, and who knows what might happen. So it's going to end up going to, even this attorney for the city actually said that, we may have to let a judge decide this. Well, I'd probably get a new attorney because the attorney's been looking at it for 3 months and he should have a good idea how that contract's written. If he doesn't, he needed to understand how it's going. So at that point, we're going to leave it at that. There's another bad rumor going around that we got contacted by somebody last week and they said, we heard Jack Pine Gypsies can't do their hill climb this year because they lost the insurance. Well, found out about that too. Actually, I couldn't get the guy that I was talking to stop laughing long enough to tell me that, where did you hear that from? Well, that pretty much told me the answer, and he told me that, no, our hill climbs are all on. We got a full week of adventures that are going to be going on. They've actually got some racing and stuff going on out there already. It's been going on for the last few weeks.
I mean, they're year-round, or probably not during the winter, but once the weather's good enough, they have stuff going on at Jack Pine Gypsies, that area, all year long.
So we just want to let you know that is still full blown and everything's still going. As we get closer to Sturgis, we're going to be letting you know about everything that's going on. We'll let you know out there at the Full Throttle Saloon what's going on with the stages and stuff. But yes, there is no way humanly you can see the concert, be inside the amphitheater for free anymore. That is gone. Used to be if you got there before 6, you got in. That is going to stop this year. Only way you're going to get in is paying for a general admission, or unless you're staying at the campground, Pappy Hoyle, or you got a cabin rented at Full Throttle Saloon. Those people do get in for free because they bought it with their camping passes.
And they have a camping pass to get in.
So that's good. Other than that, if you want to see any of the concerts at the Full Throttle Saloon, you need to go on their website, fullthrottlesaloon.com, and buy your tickets. I don't think it's going to sell out. It's a pretty big area. There's a lot of different venue areas there, but it's all cost different now. Maybe I'll throw up a little quick schematic of it and show it that they've got a general admission that's actually behind where what I'm basically thinking is going to happen is what it's always happened.
Under the first pavilion?
You're not going to be able to get out of the bar without having a ticket. So I think what's going to happen is you're going to be looking underneath the new bridges when they get it all built, the platforms up there, the wood and all that around. You're going to be, the general admission is actually standing back there looking in to the stage. Then that's one pay grade. The next one's the next pay grade that's in. Then from there, you've got, if you want to be up on the bridges, there's another cost there. Then if you want to be in VIP, which is up in the front, there's another cost there. Typically, the prices, I think the cheapest night is Jackal. I think it's about $29.95 for general admission. We looked at Hank Williams Jr. It was $89 for general admission. It's $149 on the bridge, and I think it was $189 in the VIP. The other one I didn't really look at the price. You can go on their website. You can look at all the different prices if you're interested in any of those bands. What else we have today, which is the real breaking news we want to tell you. You've seen Tam got her little army up here of Buc-ee's.
Of my Buc-ee's.
We've been covering Buc-ee's ever since we started going to Florida, covering them all around.
And all that.
Yep, all around the United States. But what's going on right now is you might have seen that thumbnail up there that there's a major lawsuit going on with Buc-ee's. Well, here's how it's going.
Down in Florida.
Yep, so this was filed on May 29th. Of 2025, so this is something that just happened. Buc-ee's is actually suing somebody in Florida. It's a punk rock store for using their trademark beaver logo. The name of the company is
Prothamus Exteria. I don't know if I said that right.
Incorporated. Yep, they're out of Winter Park. They have a goth boutique. So I'm figuring that's gothic. They were slapped with a lawsuit from Buc-ee's over the stores of this punk rock. They're selling t-shirts and stickers with the image of the iconic Buc-ee's logo. They have been selling Buc-ee's logo ahead with versions of their own beaver logo. So we're gonna slap this up here right now, and you can look at these two pictures of these two t-shirts that they have. They've taken Buc-ee over there on the side. You can see he's got goat horns and all that kind of stuff on it.
Pierced ears.
You got the other one's got the 666 across it, so a whole lot of satanic things on there.
And then his tongue is a snake
hanging out,
tongue
yeah.
hanging
So
out.
it's just crazy what's going on.
Poor Buc-ee.
So Buc-ee's isn't just happy with a lawsuit telling them to take it down. They're asking for full restitution from every item they sold. They want the full price of what they sold. They also want them, it's just going to go on and on and on. And Buc-ee's wants money, compensation, everything. And they should. Buc-ee's is a major contributor. They're out here all over the United States. They're growing like wildfire. They've got a great reputation. We talk about them. A lot of other YouTubers are out here talking about Buc-ee's. You know, a lot of you love Buc-ee's. You know, that's what everybody says. Buc-ee should be paying us because we're always out here. I'm always drinking my Buc-ee's cup.
We always got our Buc-ee's cup. We've probably had this the last 5 years.
The last thing I'm going to tell you about Buc-ee's is they actually want a trial with jurors. So they're going to go in there and show you, here's the happy Buc-ee, and here's the satanic Buc-ee's. Did that hurt our reputation? And I'd say, probably did.
Well, the funny thing is, it looks just like Buc-ee. They just drew the horns and the tongue and the earrings and all that else on it. But still looks like he's smiling. You think if they really wanted a gothic, somebody would have redrawn him with a little more grungy look or something. I don't know.
And there's a lot of other beavers on other products and stuff like that.
But this looks just like Buc-ee.
It looked like they took the Buc-ee emblem, logo, and they turned around and added all this extra crap to it, just like Cam was saying. So yes, they're probably going to win a major lawsuit here. This gothic place may
Go
not
Buc-ee.
They may not even be in business by the time we get down there for Daytona Biketoberfest. You know, they might have to bail out and head out because this could be, you know, like I say, the Buc-ee's is so big right now, I don't know what their net worth is worth. but they're probably a lot because they're building stores like there's no tomorrow. I think a couple of new stores opened up this month. They got a couple more. We got one next year. It's going to be out here in Arizona.
In Scottsdale. There's one going up in Milwaukee.
And pretty much everyone we've stopped at still has the same great quality for food, for service. The price of gas is usually always really good, easy to get in and out.
And the clean, giant bathrooms.
That's right. And they can tell you which ones are ready to go and which ones...
They do. It's almost like it's got a little green and red light. You know which one. You don't have to search and look or wonder.
Rattle the doors and open the door and find somebody's in there.
Oops.
But that happens sometimes. So those are some of the breaking news stories that we've got going on today. So we're going to start wrapping it up here today, but we just want to let you know that we're still, hopefully, all plans out. We're going to be pulling out here on Saturday morning, bright and early, and we're going to be about 500 miles in. We should be in Providence. I think Utah is where I think
Provo.
I got my... What?
Is it Provo?
I don't know.
I think it's
Povous. It's almost just underneath Salt Lake City. So we're going to stop there first night. Second night, I think we're going to make it all the way to Casper. What?
I was going to say Dave Eastwood. I think he lives right around there.
Casper, and then from Casper we should be into the Sturgis, Rapid City area. So should be, if all goes well, probably noon, 1 o'clock we'll be pulling in. Probably not a whole lot we're going to have planned that day. Get all set up, get all situated, everything like that. We'll be in Rapid City for the first couple of weeks. So if you're out that area, let us know. We'll be happy to try to meet up with you. Then right before July 1st, we should be over at Kathmandu. We'll be there all the way through the rally. We've already had a bunch of people asking me, are we still there? Yes, we will still be there. We're going to be covering all the things going on with the motorcycle rally. That's why we get there so early. Just like here, we're going to be sitting down with the city, trying to get this all straightened out. So if you're coming for pre-bike week, we're going to find you some great parking. I've got some suggestions for them, what they can do with the vendors. Not bad things, but a way we can solve the problem. I actually was talking to a couple business owners today.
We'll give them what we see and what we think might work, and just suggestions.
Yeah.
They can do with it whatever they please.
That's right. So they can make the rally just in the short time. They can get a lot of this stuff that I'm going to recommend done without costing the city a ton of money. And that's what it's all about. But the more people that come in, same thing with what some of these businesses said, that's more tax money they're getting. If they got the streets all lined up with vendors staying on the parking lot, just parking their cars out there, just thinking that they're going. If we end up just having cars parked all the way down up and down Main Street all day long because it's the vendors, like I say, I don't know if I'm stopping. Would you find your place to try to find a place to park your bike? Because now you're parking and the streets aren't blocked off, so you can't park like motorcycle parking. You're parking in a car spot. So
you can't park probably down the middle of the road.
No, you will not unless they close the street down. You cannot, once again, say that again. There is no parking pre-rally before the rally starts, parking down the middle of the street. You can park on the side, stay out of the red zones. That's how you get towed. Don't park anywhere you're not. There's a lot of parking lots. If you're driving a car, park in a parking lot. There's a great one back there behind the Iron Horse. You go just past the Iron Horse, heading towards the Buffalo Chip. You take that first road to the left after the Buffalo Chip, go all the way down, and there's a big, giant parking lot. Goes all the way down to the baseball fields with a little lake and all that's out there. Soccer, baseball, they do a whole bunch of stuff out there. All free parking. And we're going to be talking to them about what my suggestion is going to be for that is they should do like they do over there in Deadwood and get a little trolley or something or school bus to just bring people back up to the corner. You know, they don't need to take them all the way downtown.
Just to the corner of Junction and LaSalle, just right there. That's maybe 2 blocks, if that.
And that would get people, and maybe with the vendors, same thing. Maybe they can get a shuttle service going for the vendors that they can get back and forth. And if nothing else, maybe they have them all chip in. And then they justify the pay for the salary of that school bus running back and forth. But I mean, there's a way to do it without interfering with the rally itself.
Or rent one of those passenger vans. We used to have a 15-passenger van. I don't know how many people you'll have, but I mean...
You can make a couple trips. You can walk, or you can wait for a ride. And that's a lot of times we do. Sometimes we look, and I'm like, we'll just walk. It ain't worth the trolley ride. Sometimes we're like...
get those steps in.
Yep. And then sometimes we look, and after we walk all that way, we're like, holy smokes, we should have took the trolley. It was too far to walk. It looked close.
Maybe we should contact some of those rim check guys.
Yeah,
that ride those little bikes. I think, did they have any in Sturgis?
I don't remember. I don't think they did. I don't know. Those guys that got the little bicycles, got a little car 2 people can sit in, or some of them got 4 seats in them, and they pedal you around and take you around and stuff like that. But with the vendors, sometimes they could be all in their supplies or shirts or boxes. You know, why they didn't just dump all that stuff in the store and be done with it and it's there, I don't know. But that's part of the problem that's going on. So we're going to try to help the city with our advice to get them to where they can get this set up. So when everybody starts arriving, there'll be a great place to park your motorcycle. Because that's what we've always said. Sturgis is the #1 location for motorcycle rallies because they dominate the area for the motorcyclists, not for cars. There is places to park. There's plenty of churches. There's a lot of great places that you can park. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention about Sturgis, if you're still hanging in here, you know those cups that you have to buy to drink on Main Street? On one side, it's got a Budweiser emblem on it, and the other side has got
City of Sturgis logo.
Budweiser only pays for the cups to be made. They get no money from that. That money from that cup, the $5, $10, whatever they're selling that cup for, goes to a charity in town. So there you go. It's a lot of people were. I was seen at the city meeting last night. Somebody was mentioning that a lot of people don't buy the cup because they think it's sponsoring Budweiser. It is not. Budweiser's who paid for the cups for them.
And FYI, if you've bought one of those cups in previous years, bring it with you. You can use that same cup over and over.
And check around for different places that sell beer. There's a lot of places that got really a lot better deal for refills than some of the taverns and the bars have. Just FYI, just giving you a little extra information. So that, we're going to leave it right here. I think we've given you a bunch of great stuff here. Told you all about Buc-ee's major lawsuit that's going on. We'll keep you up to date if we find out about that. Let you know what's kind of going in the city of Sturgis. Let you know what's about that flat track racing, what Jack Pine Gypsies has got going on. We're going to be meeting with them next week when we arrive. We're going to be busy.
Yeah, we are.
If we're getting there on a Tuesday, we only got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to get most of this stuff done.
They'll hit the ground running.
That's right. So we got a lot of work to do, and people always say that. What are you doing there so early? There you go. I already got the first probably week and a half already booked for things we need to do and get out and take care of.
Plus the rides we want to do.
That's
so
right.
We've got to put those in somewhere.
And we may have a major giveaway
during the Sturgis Rally.
That's right. So stay tuned. We've got a sponsor that's been talking to us about an opportunity.
And we'll be letting you know the details on that as soon as we get them.
That's right. It's something's going to be happening in Sturgis that you might really enjoy doing.
If it all works out.
Yep. Another thing I want to do is we want to let you know that our bikes, or not Bikes, Booze, and Barbecue, but our
Bike Builds for Vets.
We got the racing helmet that we're special, intelligent, smart helmet. We're raffling that off here at Bikes Build for Vets. You can check that out. Click on that and it gives you a little more information. It sends you back to the video.
And you can win that with a $25 donation to get a raffle ticket. And it's state of the art. It's really cool. We'll put the link to the video about that and share that with your friends. We want to get this helmet out. It's the coolest helmet ever.
And Biketoberfest is fully on down there in Florida, so we're going to be down there. That's going to be one of the slowly ending rallies for the year. And so we'll be checking that all out. Yep. So we'll be checking that all out and being down there from Tuesday till Sunday and seeing all that excitement and giving you, so we'll be feeding up all the way up to that point. We'll be talking about it. And we got a new sponsor that's going to be coming on. We're going to have some information about that when we're in Sturgis. So we'll be looking for that too. So we got a lot of stuff on the board, a lot of stuff coming on. And this is, once again, our breaking news for Wednesday. We're going to try to do this on Wednesday, but we'll have to see. It's hard sometimes to get information. Sometimes I don't get enough data and stuff. All this stuff came in through last night. We made a bunch of phone calls this morning. We're still waiting on a couple. Never called back, so we didn't get to...
Didn't get all the information we wanted to give you. But as soon as we get it, we'll get it to you.
There you go. We'll leave you right here.
So thanks for hanging out with us today. We thank all of you for your support. Don't forget to support our sponsors too. That's who gets us to the rallies, to give you all this great information. And make sure you tell them Bob and Tam sent you. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications. And we'll see you on the next video. And here's the QR code to get a raffle ticket for that helmet.
And we'll see all of you real soon in Sturgis if you're going.
That's right. Drive safe if you're heading that way. We'll see you soon.